If you always find yourself needing to think about the how in terms of your love life, always needing to think about how to make him want you, chase you, become obsessed with you, how to text to him so that he wants you. If you're always needing to overanalyze and figure things out and try hard in order to get to love, the truth is that actually, my love, is actually not real love. Rather, it is a form of obsession. It is a form of control. It's a form of manipulation. Because the truth is, real love does not feel like a struggle. It does not feel like stress where you always need to worry about what to do next. Real love does not feel like a place of anxiety where you doubt yourself on whether you can get his love or not. Rather than that, real love, true love, feels like peace. It feels like home. It feels like a safe harbor, a safe haven where you can always relax and lean on and trust in. And it feels like home. It feels like a warm, cozy hug or a warm sweater that hugs you in a chilly autumn afternoon. And when it comes to real love, it actually takes away the stress in your life rather than adding more stress onto your life. It doesn't actually, real love doesn't drain that energy, that time, that mental effort of always needing to think about him, think about this relationship in order to get his love. Rather than that, it feels like ease. And if that is what you're desiring, today I want to share with you how I have transformed my love life, going from a place of stress and turning it into peace. And it has personally not only shifted in my own lives, but also in the lives of my client, where we go from chasing men, chasing relationships, and instead to receiving secure, emotionally available, lasting, committed love. So that means having a life partner, having a husband whom you can always rely upon, whom is there for you, who is supportive, who is secure in himself. And that, my love, is the essence of a peaceful love life. And in today's video, I want to share with you the main thing. If you don't do anything else, if you shift this one thing, it's going to transform your love life for good. And that number one key when it comes to shifting your love life from a place of stress and instead to turn it into peace, from shifting it into attracting emotionally unavailable, non-committed men, shifting that into the type of men who are actually capable of loving you in the way that you actually desire, in a way that lasts. The truth is, it all boils down to this one thing. In fact, if I could boil down all my teachings and could just share with you this one thing, it would be this, which is to stop focusing on him. The reason why so many women struggle in their love life, the reason why so many women get into toxic love cycles, love relationships where you're always overgiving, you feel unreciprocated, or you feel unloved and unseen, unheard, whatever that may be, the source of struggle, the reason why many women get into struggle when it comes to love is because we are constantly, obsessively thinking about him, thinking about how to make him love you, how to get his love, how to earn his love. And that, my love, is the exact reason why our love life feels hard. Because what happens is that when you are constantly overthinking about him, constantly your mind is always on him, always thinking about the future with him, always thinking about, oh, if he just loved me in this way, then things would be perfect. If we are constantly fantasizing about this person, idolizing this person, what happens is that you stop focusing on you, which is actually the key that needs to shift, which is actually the transformation that needs to happen if you want to have a happy, peaceful love life, is that instead of focusing on him, you want to actually focus on you. And I don't just mean your looks. I don't just mean thinking about what you need to do and what you need to say. I'm not thinking about the surface layer level layers of you, but rather actually the deepest part of you, which is your state of being. The truth is, when you can master your state of being, you will master your love life too. The reason why so many women struggle with their love life is that instead of actually focusing on their state of being, the deeper presence, the deeper you, rather than that, you are focusing on him. And this is where the problem is, because what happens whenever you're constantly overthinking about him, constantly wanting him, is that the truth is that it's almost as if you can think of your soul, your state of being, your presence as this light bulb, right? And when a light bulb is covered up in a foil, then the light is not going to glow as bright. The same thing, whenever you're constantly overthinking about him, it's as if there is a shield preventing you from glowing. That's because that is what the obsession is, a mental obsession, or the thinking mind. What it actually does is that it actually dims your presence. It actually dims your light. It actually dims, you can call it your aura, you can call it your presence. When you are constantly thinking about him, think about how less present you become as a person, right? That's the reason why, let's say you're thinking about one person constantly, obsessively, and when you are doing that, even when other people are trying to communicate to you, you are less present. In other words, you are less of you. And what you need to understand is that the truth is, men are attracted to you. Men are attracted to who you are, not what you are thinking in your mind. In other words, what men are attracted to is this light that is glowing in its full essence. The light that is you, that is glowing in its full essence, rather than a light that is dimming because of an obstruction that is blocking. And whenever we're thinking about a situation, thinking about a person obsessively, what it does is that it's only dimming our light. It's dimming our presence. It's stopping us from fully emanating your presence, your magnetism. How do you become magnetic to the right people? You do that by being fully you, rather than having this big glob mental obstruction in your mind. Remember that thinking mind is like an energy bug. It's like a source of an energy drain. It's draining your energy. It's draining your life force. It's draining your essence instead of you being fully you. And what you need to understand is that when you want to attract love into your life, first you need to first be fully you, meaning being in your full essence and your full presence. So that means a state of being. When you're fully you, you become more relaxed. You become more in the now. You become less contracted, less tight. But if you are constantly thinking about a person, a situation, a relationship that should happen, if you are doing that, what is happening is that instead of you being fully relaxed and being in your presence, rather than that, you are tight and you are constricted. That's what actually happening whenever we're overthinking, obsessing about this one person. We are tight, we are constricted. Our nervous system is tight and restricted. And when you are in that tight and restricted state, this is a tight restricted state. You can call that also a dull state, because it's dull because you can't fully emanate your light, you can't fully emanate your presence. When you are that, you're only going to attract the type of men, the type of relationships or situationships that feed you more into this. And so, for instance, when men do not text you back, or when men withdraw, or when men reject you, it's going to feel like attraction to you, because you're in a state of stress, because you're constantly thinking about, how do I get to love? How do I get to this relationship? Because you're constantly thinking about it and you're in a state of stress. When you are in a state of stress, the things that trigger stress to you, they're gonna feel even more compelling to you, because the thought of finally him loving you back, even though he withdraws from you, even though he closed up, even though he is not emotionally available, the thought of him finally giving that love to you, it feels like this relief. And because of it, you keep chasing inside this hamster loop. It looks like a hamster loop where when you are stressed, when your nervous system is tight, constricted, you're gonna be drawn to men who trigger those exact feelings. So you're gonna be attracted to men who give you more stress, give you more of that grasping for love, that constriction when it comes to love. And why do you do that? You do that because that feels familiar to you. So men are going to be creating more of that inside of you, and you're going to be drawn specifically to players, specifically to emotionally available, emotionally unreliable, like inconsistent men or unsafe men. The reason why we're drawn to that is because our nervous system sees that as familiar. They create that source of familiarity. They create that source of stress, which is what we are feeling inside, which is why whenever your state of being in a source of stress, it almost feels like there is no escape because we are constantly inside of this loop. When you are in that loop, you attract men, you attract relationships that feed you more into this, and it only keeps you stay inside of these relationships, which is why it feels like a perpetual cycle. And in other words, I call this the relationship doom cycle. It feels like doom. It feels like no matter what you're doing, no matter what you try to say to him, no matter how you convince to him, no matter what you do, he always responds back to you in the same way. He always becomes emotionally unavailable, emotionally close up after getting close to you, or he becomes inconsistent and unreliable even though you express your needs. It feels like a cycle of doom because you are used to that state. In other words, your nervous system is used to that state. And as long as your nervous system, as long as your state of being is in a state of stress, is in that tightness and restriction and control, you will feel as though even though you're trying to do your best when it comes to relationship, it will feel as though this is all the best that you can get. It will feel like this is the best that you can get, or that there are actually no better men who can treat you out there. And in fact, you will glorify that person. You will think that he is the best that you can get. You will feel as though if you just finally get his love, then you'll be okay. Then you will feel safe. And know that when you're having thoughts like that, it is just your nervous system running on the cycle, which is this hamster wheel, this illusion that if this person does something different, finally you will not be stressed anymore. Finally, you will be okay. The truth that you need to understand is that he is just mirroring you. You can't try to change what's in the mirror by trying to wipe the mirror. Rather than that, if you want to stop seeing the thing that you're seeing in the mirror, rather than that, you need to change you. Right? The same thing, if you want to change how men treat you, what you need to do is we need to change your state of being, because your state of being is the actual root. It is the actual cause for why you get into these type of certain relationships that are unreliable, relationships that do not choose you, men who do not fully choose you, men who withdraw, reject, pull away from you. The reason why all of these happen in the first place is because these are just effects. Men are just mirroring the state of being, the thing that is actually happening inside of us, which is where we are stressed, where we are panicking inside, where we are worrying and striving and grasping inside. And as long as you are in this state of being, no matter what you do, men will be treating you in the same way that confirms what you experience inside yourself. Which is the reason why the biggest thing that you can do to transform your love life is to shift your state of being, changing the way you feel inside of yourself. So that means when it comes to your love life, instead of going about it from a place of stress, worry, overwhelm, overthinking, rather than that tightness and the restriction of needing to figure it out. Rather than that, we want to shift it into a place where you're relaxed. You feel relaxed inside of yourself. You feel whole inside of yourself. You're not grasping anymore because you're at peace within yourself. The thing is, when you shift what you feel about yourself, when you shift the way that you carry, the way that you embody, the way that your presence is, the thing is, men will naturally be attracted to it. Now, you don't have to think about what you need to do or how you need to try in order to get to him anymore. Rather than that, the right men are naturally drawn to you because remember, as I mentioned before, the light bulb is fully emanating the light. It is not blocked up by this mental foil, mental obstruction anymore, because whenever we're overthinking and stressing and focusing about the men, what it actually is doing is that it's only dimming who we are. It's dimming the light that we are, the light that you are. And when you start to change your state of being, when you start becoming more full, more whole, more peaceful, when you change the way that you feel inside your body, remember that this is not about thinking, it's about what you feel in your physical body, because what you feel inside your body will never lie to you. You can't be thinking your way to peace. You have to actually feel it. And it is only when you actually feel that peace, that is when everything else shifts. That is when the men that are attracted to you also shift. And the men that you're also attracted to, they also shift. So it shifts the quality of men in your life. So rather than players, non-committed men, non-emotionally unavailable men, rather than that, we're going to be attracting men who are more secure in themselves, who are emotionally available, who are consistent, who are devoted. Why? Because that is what our state of being emanates. That is what we become available for, because they confirm the peace inside of ourselves. So essentially what it means is that when you are feeling peaceful inside, you're going to be connecting and being attracted to men who also bring out more of that peace inside of you, because now your nervous system automatically knows when someone is peaceful, when he brings peace into your life, you can naturally, you automatically feel it. You can automatically feel his presence. You feel safe around him. You can relax around him. But on the other side, whenever you're stressed out, all these type of men, the men who are nurturing, who are safe, who are emotionally available, all these men, they feel either out of reach or they feel boring because you are not used to it. However, when you start shifting your state of being, the type of men, the quality of men that you are attracted to, they're gonna shift. And not only that, your standards are going to shift. What you used to tolerate when you were stressed out and overthinking, you are no longer available for them, because now you know what it is like to fully enjoy yourself. You know what it is like to fully love yourself, enjoy your own presence, your own energy. And when another person, when a man is not giving you that, you're not going to be available for that anymore. And that's the reason why you don't even have to try to figure out if he is the one for me. You do not need to overthink on what are his red flags. You don't even need to do that, because your nervous system just knows. Because why? You have already embodied the standard that of what you are looking for from a man, of how he treats you. Because when you are feeling peaceful, you know that what you most desire in a man is also the kind of man who treats you, give you peace, because anything else other than that, you're not going to be available for it anymore. You're not going to be drawn to it anymore. And now when your state of being shifts into peace, into relaxation, into wholeness, what happens is that instead of the relationship doom cycle that we talked about earlier, rather than that, you're going to be in the nirvana cycle. Because what we mean by that is nirvana, you can call that heaven. The truth is that heaven is actually in the here and now. It is right here. It is within and in the here and now. And when you're state of being is connected to the now moment because you are relaxed, you are connected. When you are in that expanded state, you are more connected to what's here now. So rather than fantasizing about the future, or rather than idolizing the past, rather than thinking about the past and like, oh, he did this to me and that's the reason why he's my soulmate, rather than thinking on all these illusions like fantasizing the future or idolizing the past, rather than that, you are connected to what's real, what is true, what is in the now. So that means that you're able to you're able to determine whether a man is right for you or not. You're able to discern that very clearly because you are connected to the now. That means that if he provides safety to you, if he is security, if he gives comfort, if he gives devotion to you, if he gives all these qualities to you, you can sense it. You don't have to overthink on, oh, is he the right one or not? What if I chose the wrong one? You don't have to think your way into it anymore because now you're already experiencing it firsthand. Your body already knows. That's what I mean by that. Your body does not lie. And this is how you know whether he is the one or not. And this is how you know whether he is a keeper or whether he is a player. And you know that through your body. You know that through the sensations that you're experiencing through your body whenever you're with him. And how are you able to do that? You are able to do that because you have experienced all of these now, all of these within yourself. So that means that you already have the bar, you already have the standard, the measurement of what you are looking for whenever you're with a man. And that, my love, is how you transform your love life into making it peaceful, into making it lasting, making it happily ever after. And the good news is that you can drop all that figuring out and analyzing, and in fact it feels like freedom. It feels like you're finally free to be who you are. So rather than being dragged down by your love life, always needing to obsess and thinking about your love life and feeling as though your love life is a part of your life where it's always draining your energy, rather than that, you are now able and available for better pursuits, like higher pursuits in your life. So things that actually fulfill you, such as maybe your career, maybe your artistic pursuits. You can channel your energy into the things that matter to you, because now your love life is not a cause of drama, not a cause of inner conflict anymore. And that, my love, is how you have a peaceful love life and have a man who treats you nothing less than what you desire, what you are looking for. And if that is what you desire deeper support with, you can check out the link in the description box for a free one-on-one consultation call where we find out the hidden shift that needs to happen in order for you to attract lasting, secure love.